What's up, traders? 3 trades today, 2 for 3, coming out about 1R to the positive side. Let's get to it. I'm going to start LB here, just risking high of day. Felt like I wanted to start coming back down. Looking for this to come down, test the $0.50, and then hopefully come back down towards VWAP. That's the idea. We ended up getting 62. So we're 34 cents from the top, so 1R would be obviously 34 cents below our average. So if we can try to get down towards that previous resistance, we should be right around 1R, and then we'll obviously look for more than that, looking for VWAP hopefully. So this has been one of the most boring trades that pretty much never worked from the beginning. I was like, once we got in, this thing just decided to chop higher. And this is about the 10th time it's tried. It feels a little bit stronger this time. However, it's got all the EMAs coming up to it. There it is. And wow. We got filled at 25.06 there. Our stop was at 24.96. So 10 cent slippage. That one kind of hurts. Okay. All right. We'll let LB go, and we'll see if this wants to squeeze and maybe set up for a future trade. See if TUP can get through 1550 here. We have that line on the daily right there at 1560 for that gap fill. I might end up getting into this a little bit quicker than I normally would. I'm going to be only risking a little bit here. I want to see how it reacts. We're coming back down. I like this. I was waiting for it to go through 50 there. And we're just going to risk high of day real quick here. It went right up to that gap fill and just got rejected. Couldn't have asked for a better rejection. We'll see if it wants to continue down. Just going to look down for around 15, just the whole dollar. This thing's very strong, so we're just kind of looking for a quick scalp. That's why we tried to get as close to the top as we could. We are going to take only 90%. We're going to see if we can get that extra 10%, maybe to continue all the way back down there towards VWAP. Here we go. We're coming down. Nice move. We're going to take 90% there. Got the fill at 12. That was a nice solid move down. Coming back up. We just put our stop at high of day. Usually I would put it at break even, but we're so close to high of day here with our entry that and it's only 10% of the position, so if it wants to come back up and go high of day, we'll let it. Squeezing back up. See if we can't get a nice little reject here. This was just a pure play right off the daily. Saw the resistance there, waited for a little confirmation as it was coming back down through the $0.50, and then we jumped in. Man, this thing's squeezing right back up through 50. Stops at 63 and going right up to it. It said, I am not done. All right, we got stuffed at 60 there a little bit. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we actually got 63, so that's good. I thought we were going to get 68 looking at the montage. All right, so nice little trade there on TUP over 1R on that one. Getting a nice rejection off the attempted high of day on not a lot of volume. Bottom of this candle is 26.24. We're obviously on the 5-minute chart here, so we'll be looking for the break of that 5-minute candle. We've waited quite some time for this. As you can see on the way up, there has not been a 5-minute candle that even came close to breaking the previous one, so that's what we're looking for here. All right, it's coming down. Once we see that candle break, we're good to go. 26.23 is what we're looking for. Because obviously there was some support there on the way up at 26.24, so we just want to make sure that that is not still sitting there. So once we break through that area, that's where we're interested. Obviously looking for this to come and hopefully test VWAP area. Ultimately looking for this to come down and test that 25 area. That'd be awesome. Kodak absolutely going nuts today. Here we go. 24, 23, there it is. We're going to get short. Ended up with 58 shares there, risking high of day. Looks like it wants to continue. Here we go. I feel like we're definitely at least going to get the 26 test. What it does there is a whole different story. So we had that original order at 81. It's not even quite getting there. Don't really want to let the whole position go back up and stop us out break even. Come down this far. Just watching the price action here. All right, it's starting to come back up. I'm going to take 50% there, just in case it wants to go back through 26 and make a little squeeze, because it's a decent sized move to the downside. So if it wants to jump back up, the odds are it would probably hit our break even point. So I'd like to at least take some profits out here, even though it's not exactly what we were looking for, but profit is profit. So hopefully the 50% that we have left, we can get it to work back down, but we wanted to take that out just in case we squeezed back up through. Didn't want to be in this trade and not get any profits after it came down this far. Just trying. Can't quite get down into the 50s. 62. Right, we're going to end up taking it there. We got 71. Was hoping to get that fill down there 55, just didn't quite want to give it to us. So now we're down to 15 of our original 58, and we will have the stop there at break even. Still looking for this to go lower, but again, just taking profits along the way. Yeah, that nice stuff up there at 26 is kind of what set this up. That was the sloppy seconds we were talking about. We thought it was going to actually go up through 26 before it did that. So a little unfortunate that we stopped out some of our shares there beforehand, because that would have been nice to hold on to the full size. Coming down to our order here at 15, 17, 16. There we go. All right, so we got our fill there at 25.15, and now we are down to some serious leftovers, and we are just going to put a stop in on these and let them go the rest of the day if they want to. Hopefully we can get a pretty good fade the rest of the day. The odds are it's going to use 25 as some kind of support here. Don't really see how strong this was, it giving back everything today, but hey, that's the beauty of the market. We don't know that for sure. All right, traders, that was my trades on TUP and LB. We'll start here on TUP since we only got the one trade. We'll zoom in a little bit. This one was right off of the daily. It's the reason that I didn't really wait for an actual trigger on the candlesticks. This was pretty much, if we go over to the daily, I'll show you exactly what I was looking at. Let's backtrack a little here. So we had this gap fill right in here, and you'll see 1551 was the, or wait, I'll say that. Is that right? Yeah. Yep, 1551. So my line that I had drawn during the day was at 1560, but it was close enough. I had it scrolled out like this, and I probably just drew the line something like this, and it just happened to end up at 1560. So going back into the one, that was all. Literally, that was the trade. Obviously, it was a nice extended move. Had a bunch of volume come in there. We watched for the reject. We waited for it to come back down through the $0.50. Once it did, we were interested. We jumped in, and we weren't really looking for too much. We were just looking for the scalp. Obviously, we took only 90% of our position. We were looking for the rest of it to at least come down and test previous resistance or VWAP, and we didn't get either of those. That thing squeezed right back up, and it actually continued even further. But if we take a look, let's see. We got in at 45. The high of the candle was 63, so 18 cents. 45 minus 12 is 33, so almost 2 to 1. We almost got 2 to 1 on our trade there. Granted, that was only for 90%, so we actually ended up giving a little bit back, but we ended up with over 1R on that, which is nice. And sometimes the risk to reward is going to be a little bit different on those types of trades, because I am basically not waiting for full confirmation of a ticker there. So that's really just a price action entry based off of a daily level. So that's what I put it in my journal as. I put it in as a price action entry. I wasn't waiting for a 1 minute trigger, and so be it. I mean, if we had a 10-second chart, I could probably say I had a 10-second trigger or whatever. So you can always find a way to get yourself into a trade, but this was just pure price action, just intuition, as well as the nice daily level there at the 1550 area. So that was my trade on TUP. The first trade on LB, this one kind of faked us out a little bit on the 1 minute trigger, 62. We ended up getting in right at 62, and it never actually printed under 62, so maybe a little lesson to be learned there. But it then went under that a little bit after, so I would have been in this trade regardless. Just happened to hit it a tad early, and yeah. So actually, I don't think I did. I think if I remember correctly, no, it had to because it was on this candle. Yeah. So a little unfortunate there. But this thing just chopped sideways pretty much the entire time and then finally went higher. The annoying part was the high of day was at 96, and we ended up getting some crazy slippage. I did not think that we were going to get slippage more than to the $0.50. I figured there'd be shares at the whole dollar. I'm sorry. At 25, I figured worst case scenario, it'll shoot through 96 and there'll be a little bit of resistance at 25 before it breaks through and we'll get filled there. That was not the case. It went right from 24.96 straight to 25.06 on the ask, and that was where we got filled for the slippage. So that was a little unfortunate. And if we scroll out, we actually went to the 5-minute chart for the second trade here. It decided to continue, and as you can see, the 5-minute just never slowed down. All these top wicks, and it just kept grinding higher. And then finally, we got our first, it actually tried to break out one last time, and then we came back down. And once we broke this candle here, that's where I was interested. Chopped a little bit, went back up just a tad, but then we ultimately got the move down. Really wish I didn't fake myself out here. I thought it was going to head back up through 26. It was a pretty nice move. It was bouncing off the EMA. Just figured we were going to get some kind of move back up before we possibly continued down. So I didn't want to go back up with full size. So I took 50% there, figuring my stop was pretty close to where I thought it was going to bounce anyway. So that was actually the thought process there. But it rejected, came back down. We took some more off and it came back up. So we were right there that it did bounce, but the bounce there was kind of lame as well. Went right back up to that same area and rejected again. And we ultimately got a lot of our position out down here as well. So we are still hanging on to a couple shares. I told myself if we can get down to leftovers, I'll just let them ride for the rest of the day. Put them at a stop near break even. And in this case, they're actually a little bit below. Our average is at 26.23. But I figured just kind of play in this area through 26. If it wants to get there, obviously it's probably going to continue. But if not, maybe we'll get some more movement to the downside. And that's all I got. So like and subscribe, guys. Always appreciate that support. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Oh, let me show you guys where we stand for the day. I always forget that sometimes. So nothing special. We're shooting for 2R a day. 1R is $25 at the moment. That's what we're risking on any given trade. If you look at the montage, it says it right there. And we're going to look to get consistent with this. If we can get consistent with this, hopefully we can start putting some good days together, right? And then we can move on. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.